What's going on, Instagram? Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you always taking the time. I've been a little MIA lately, so we're in between some showings and I want to chat mortgages. It's something I've been looking into recently as my remortgage is coming up. So if you've been in real estate or you've bought a home before, you generally know the typical mortgages. You have the variable rate where your rate fluctuates, and then you have the fixed term, 1 to 5 years generally, that rate stays the same. My first mortgage was a 5-year fixed. Very easy, very comfortable. You know what your mortgage is going to be for the next 5 years. A lot of questions we're getting now after a great 4 years in this real estate market is how do I reinvest my equity and how do I pull equity from my home without selling my home? Obviously, you want to get your equity out, put your house up on the market, get all your cash back out, and then start again. Another option is reinvesting that equity and trying to keep that property. So I figured out a few different ways. One way is called all cash refinance. So essentially, we'll do an example here. Say the home is worth $300,000, you owe $150,000. The bank will come in, they'll assess the value, and they'll go, okay, you're correct, the home's worth $300,000, you owe $150,000. Let's remortgage at $250,000, which will mean you now have a mortgage of $250,000 instead of $150,000, but we are going to give you $100K cash as well, that being your equity. Now, understand by doing that, you are paying interest on that $100,000 from that new mortgage. So if that money is just going to sit there in limbo and not really do anything, it's not worth pulling out. Another thing I want to touch on is if you're refinancing your home, do not be doing this for personal reasons. Vacations, new vehicles, kids need this and that. It's just, God forbid, worst case life scenario, go ahead. I get it. Life happens, and if you have to do it, you have to do it. But if you can stay away from doing that, guys, it's going to keep you so far ahead of the game. The reason I'm looking at using equity out of my home is because I want to use that money to create more money, to create an income that kicks back in. That's the goal. If you're just using it to spend it and have a nicer lifestyle, you're going to be paying more interest again. Your mortgage is never going to get smaller. You're never going to get out of that hole. So all cash refinance, they give it all back to you. But the second you do that, you're paying interest on that $100K. The other option is called a HELOC mortgage, and the one I think I like the best. That's a home equity line of credit, HELOC. And what that does is uses that equity as a line of credit on the home. So let's redo this again. Home's worth $300,000, you owe $150,000. They will give you a line of credit on that $150,000 mortgage for $100,000. Now, while that $100,000 just sits there, it's not accumulating interest. You're not paying that interest. When you go to use it, it starts accumulating interest. Ideally, what you're going to do is, for example, I'll take that HELOC, that line of credit, I'll use it as my down payment for my next property. I'll get that property up and rolling, get it cash flowing, then I'll withdraw that investment back out and put it back in the HELOC mortgage to cut its interest level back down as well. And you're constantly using this money, turning it, remortgaging it, building equity, building interest, creating cash flow. So one day you've got this passive income that works for you. So that's the long-term goal. So with that HELOC mortgage, you're only paying the interest when you're borrowing it. These are the few things I've been learning about, guys. If you'd like to learn more about them, give me a buzz. We'll sit down together. I'll tee you up with a mortgage broker. We'll all sit down as a team. If you're looking for real estate, guys, like I said, always hit me up. A lot of people think the market's getting slower. Currently, Kaylee and us, we're sitting with 72 listings on the market. There's always something out there, guys. If you're looking, you got to be active, you got to be vigilant, you got to work with the right realtor, find the right deals. It'll always work out. Have a great day, guys.